What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel, where we bond over our favorite TV shows, trending topics, and everything in between that we care about. As you can see by the number of videos that I've rolled out in a very short amount of time, these Darius Cooks stories are coming fast and furious, and so I can't keep up with the editing and all of that of it all, because it's just a lot, and the research that goes into it. To do my normal commentary videos, I'm working on them. There's plenty happening. Working on those, but also other content, because there's a lot. But to me, it is very important to get this word out so that we can stop the harming of more potential followers, people who are involved, etc. And those who have been harmed, to even get their stories out. And so, speaking of that, we have another person who has come out to expose Darius Cooks for the predator that he is, and that is his former assistant. So in the video you're about to watch, his former assistant, who goes by the nickname of Spunky Brewster. So make sure, if you're on TikTok, to definitely go over there and give her a follow. I definitely want her to get her credit for this. However, I think her story is very important, so I want to make sure that we get more eyeballs on it. So I wanted to share it on my platform as well. So take a look as she tells you how her former employer scammed her out of $10,000.
So a lot of people have been coming to me because there is a certain social media chef that's getting dragged not only on social media but in the news, and people want my opinion about it. And the reason why is because I have a past affiliation with this person. Now, I don't do drama, I have an aversion to it, but if something else is going on, I might pull up a seat, I might look over the fence. However, if I'm involved and if you wrong me, I have a right to speak on it. However long ago it may have been, it's still my truth. Long story short, my roommate at the time was raving about this social media chef, and I needed to check out the recipes. So I went through, browsed his site, and I'm like, oh no, this is pretty dope. But I'm also very business minded. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, it looks like he's doing everything, setting up the tripods and pushing out the information and stuff like that. I'm like, he looks like he needs some help. So I reached out to him with the proposal that, hey, I can be an assistant for you, because I got, at the time, over 15 years of administrative assistance experience. And at first he was like, nah, I'm good. I do everything myself. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he circles back sometime later and was like, hey, actually, I do want to interview you, but I'm going to do it on Periscope. And at the time, that was another social media platform in front of his thousands of followers. I'm like, okay, that's extra, but fine, whatever. So I get the job, I do the things, and I'll say this, he definitely has a strong, I was going to say work ethic, but I don't think I want to use the word ethics in this. He has a hustle, but then he also hustles people. I won't go into those details, but what I will say is that I decided to stop working for this person when I realized it was all about the money and not about the people that supports him. There were several instances of this, but the one that broke my heart was when this lady, who is in a wheelchair, bought tickets to this dining event that he does, and she bought it months in advance. She was writing me to go, hey, I'm in a wheelchair. Is there any way he can put up a ramp so that I can get into the house? I've emailed him several times. I've called him. He's not responded. Can you reach out to him? And I reach out for that reason, and his response was basically like, well, what do you want me to do? You're a fucking business, and this person has paid 4 times over, because I think she bought 4 tickets to come support you, and you won't put up a piece of board so she can bring her wheelchair up? That's an ADA concern, but okay. So it was at that moment that I decided I can no longer work for a person who does this to people, let alone someone in a wheelchair. But the thing that really pissed me off was this $10,000 Airbnb fine that he racked up under my good name, for part 2. So as I alluded to in part 1, I incurred a $10,000 Airbnb fine as a result from working for this social media chef. This was all his fault, by the way. I didn't do anything except book the places that he used to do his dining event. So we used Airbnb for that. But when I look in hindsight, I realized this was all a scam from the beginning. Now, mind you, in part 1, I told you I reached out to him to see if he needed an assistant. He emphatically told me no, but then circled back around. What I recall is like my first week working for him, it was like, oh, I'm having trouble getting into my Airbnb. I don't know what's going on. So if you could do me a favor and just sign up for an account, and then I'll have you be the person to reach out and secure the venues or the houses for my dining events. Now, if you have Airbnb, you know it's not as simple as just signing up with your email address and go. No, you have to provide your driver's license, links to your social media. So if you're a business owner who fucks up your reputation on Airbnb, you don't have another driver's license. You've got to find another sucker to use their account that's in good standing to continue your business. Plain from the beginning. Now, I also mentioned in part 1 that my final determination to sever ties with this person was because of how he treated the lady in the wheelchair. So when I was on my way out, I crafted a very detailed email to him because just like he likes to show his receipts, I like to keep mine as well. And I knew a day would come when I would need them. So I was detailed. And my ask was, 1, hey, I realize you've been taking taxes out of my check. So that means you plan to file taxes on me. I'm going to need my W-2, which I never got. Tax evasion. 2, I signed up with this Airbnb to support you. But now that I'm leaving, I no longer want you to use the Airbnb because, again, my driver's license and everything is attached to it. And I'd hate for something to happen and I get blamed for it because your name is nowhere on this Airbnb. Imagine my surprise when less than a week later, I get an email saying, hey, you owe Airbnb $10,000 because you trashed this person's house. And when I told this chef person about this, it was like, well, do she have pictures of what I did? Because otherwise, if she can't prove it, then, bitch, this is under my name. $10,000. This ain't no chump change. Part 3 is going to have to come. Okay, I'm going to try to wrap this up. So recap. Sent him an email that I was resigning. I explicitly said, hey, I realize that you've been taking taxes out of my check. So I'm either going to want a W-2 or I want you to refund the money that you've taken for taxes and then let me file a 1099. Again, I received none of that. So there was that. There was the don't use my Airbnb account. And then the week after I quit, I get the fine for $10,000. He acted like he didn't care and basically was on some no face, no case. Like if this person can't prove that I damaged her home, then I'm not paying it. So since that was the attitude we were taking, I went into Airbnb. I changed the passwords, which is key because if all of your events for the next several months are under my Airbnb and I lock you out of it, you ain't getting access to these Airbnbs. So imagine that as soon as that happens, somebody calls you frantically like, I can't get into the Airbnb account. The password has apparently been changed. I'm like, yes, because I told you not to use my account and you did it anyway. Well, I told you I needed more time to find an assistant and I can't just do this overnight. So I'm going to ask you nicely to change the password back because this is my credit card that's associated with this Airbnb account. I'm like, again, when I left, I told you the conditions of me leaving and you ignored them and you've racked up $10,000. So we need to resolve this. Long story short, I basically just ended up reaching out to the homeowner to let her know that, hey, I no longer work for this person. I was not there at the time of this event. I can't say what happened either way, but you need to direct your money request to this person. Here is his information. I reached out to Airbnb and did the same. Now, unfortunately, Airbnb is like, well, it's against our rules for people to reserve on other people's behalf. And that was part of the reason why I was banned from Airbnb. But I also closed my account because I'm like, y'all not getting no money out of me, because I also had my credit card on there for my personal Airbnb usage, not because of the business. So that's where we stand. We did not end on good terms. I know this person still checks for me, because before all of this shit hit the fan, before the restaurants got closed and everything like that, I could see that they were peeping my LinkedIn. And because I know this person can be messy, and I know they like to dox people, just remember, I worked for you. So as much information as you have on me, I have on you. So let's keep it cute. This is a good question. So let me start by saying the houses that we would reserve the events were to house between, I don't recall the exact number, between 30 and maybe 40 people. So that means there had to be like the long tables, enough for everybody to sit. So these weren't your mama, my mama houses. These were damn near estates. So that already ups the ante on the value of the things within the home. The lady whose house it was, she did, file a complaint with Airbnb. She did write a review, and basically what she claims is that, one, he told her he would have a cleanup crew come after the event to clean up everything. He did not. Two, he left either her refrigerator or freezer ajar, which either messed up something inside the refrigerator and had food spoil or something like that. And then he also messed up her range. So again, this ain't your GE 4 stovetop. These are like chef type, industrial type kitchens and things of that nature. So this is how you rack up 10K in charges. And so I'm sure she was going to have those things repaired. She was going to have somebody to come out and clean. There were some other things that she listed. And just so people don't think I'm clout chasing and I'm making this shit up, again, I keeps receipts. This was the initial request. As you can see, there's 10K from Jeannie. This is the beginning of her review, and this is the rest of it. Now, do I think he probably left stuff around and fucked up her home or did some damage? Highly probable. Do I think it was $10,000 worth of damage? Probably not. But that's not my concern. That's between them two. My concern was that my name, my driver's license, also my credit cards along with they were on that account. So I'm the one that is at fault for it. Now, like I said, I closed my account before they even kind of went through the motions with it. But that, along with the fact that I was booking for him, which was against their rules, are the reasons why I'm banned. And that's how we got to 10K of charges. Okay, I've seen this twice, so I'm going to address it. The internet is vast and it's free, and people are free to disagree with or try to poke holes in the things that I say, and that's fine. I'm not going to shy away from it because I know that what I'm saying is the truth. The other thing is, if you don't follow me on social media, and you should because I'm dope as fuck, but if you did, you'd know that my page is comprised of like 3 things: travel party bullshit, funny skits, and random anecdotal things that have happened in my lifetime. I think that's pretty much what TikTok is. So to try to get granular and go, well, why are you bringing this up? Why does anybody bring up anything on TikTok? That doesn't mean you have an angle. That means I have things to share. Now, I will be honest and say, as of late, we know that there's a news story coming out about this particular individual. So at this point, it's not even personal. This is news. And people who know me, who know that I have an affiliation or had an affiliation to this person, constantly are tagging and inboxing and, oh, did you see what he did this time? Did you see what he dragging this person? I just decided, all right, let me just put my opinions out there and be one and done. This is my experience, and I'm going to say it, and then that's going to be it. So I'm not going for blood. I've not reached out to any authorities or any news, anything, although I should have. I don't want anything, but my coins from 2016 would be nice. Yeah, like there's no angle. It's simply me doing what I always do on TikTok. I mean, go through my page. This is a drop in the bucket. It just so happened that it's gone viral. But even if it didn't, it would still be my story. It would still be legit. It would be no different than me bringing up a memory of my first employer that I ever had. So I really think you're asking the wrong questions. But yeah, I really think you should redirect that and ask why so many people have a story about this person. That seems like the right question.
I tell you, so as you see from that, it's a lot. This dude is full of tricks and scams. As you see from her telling her story, he literally only hired her so that he could use her and her name to book these Dining with Darius events, because he had ruined his own name with Airbnb and Vrbo. So he reaches out to a total stranger to take advantage of her. And that is the kind of person that we're talking about. And that is why I'm so diligent and persistent about sharing this story, to prevent more innocent people from being taken advantage of by someone who claims to be a multimillionaire. So with that, I'll have more commentary as we go along. I just wanted to get this story out along with a couple others, and then kind of circle back and give you guys more detail and kind of break them all down. So we definitely will have an exposed episode also on these dining events and break that down as well, because there's more to it, because this is one person's story out of a whole other Ponzi scheme of sorts. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, definitely make sure to like this, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, because we got more coming with this topic, but also with other things as well. But, you know, I got to do this because this is what I've been called to do. Got to do it till my work is done. But this channel is definitely more than about Darius Cooks. We just got a little season to get through with this. But nevertheless, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.
Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest.